Hey guys, welcome back to Danganronpa 2 by Despair. We're about to start the trial. So this again, I need to go to that place again. But now's not the time to be a coward. The reason Ibuki and Hiyuki became victims in order to find the truth. The only thing I can do is go. Another class trial. Oh boy. Here we go. It took a little time to myself, to calm myself, give myself sustenance and stuff like that. The works. Rock. Soon enough. Is everybody here? Do you guys want to get going?
Mon ami, such a dumb.
Hey! Works just fine.
Hey!
What did you do with Nakamura? I see, so you sounds like you say oops.
Anyway.
Since Nakamura is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
I won't let you.
Hey!
Did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nakamura is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn
Of
it!
course he's not dead. There's no way, not in a million
Well-
years. More importantly, it's best if you worry about our social life. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so
How
excited
about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What are you
saying, fiend? What are you saying, fiend? It took me a second. I gave him my Byakuya instinct. You'll find out soon
See?
enough.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Stepped on the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. I noticed our lined up silhouettes kept getting smaller and smaller, but I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Everyone was inside Monokuma Rock. The elevator began its deep descent as usual. Nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. It descended as far as it could go. It finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Two people got killed at the same time and Nekomaru's alive. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him.
No.
Why bother?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin. The beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. So the curtain to the third class trial is about to open. Buki Miyoda, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all my pain and suffering was seen and walked away. Hiyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with Manju's death. The person who killed those two is among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost, for our sake, for our friend's sake, for Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. So, the third class trial is about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Yes, I would love to save. The handbook. Actually, can I buy skills? Yeah, I can. Interesting. Have there been any more? There haven't been any more. That sucks. Yes. That even does. Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. That might help. It decreases at a slower rate. Yes. That seems pretty neat. Close that. Set skills. We just need the one that we don't upgrade, which is this. Otherwise we have everything. So, we finished preparations.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
The video
Amazing!
isn't
That's such a
Ibuki.
heart-pounding story. And then what did you do, Hajime?
Okay, so wait. So Ibuki had probably been hanging there for a while because whoever did it wait, was it the nurse?
I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue.
I think it was the word. I think it was the nurse. I think it was the nurse, yeah.
But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's, and not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true? Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you can make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, come on,
Nagito's the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Alright, first one stuff. Hotel room key. Surveillance. Movie's installation ticket.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's
Ah,
fault.
dang it. Okay. It's the last one. With the killer, there should be contradiction somewhere. I need to find that breakthrough. Okay, so it is
Hajime's
a
testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes!
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up...
What a waste of time. Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Wait a second. The X on Teru's thing was
And
a
that
night
seals
before.
it. Ibuki committed suicide.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, The only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
Me too!
Hey! What? You're kidding, right?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
From the inside, the
It
semi-transparent
seems
glob.
they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
Wait a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it
It's
is
not.
not something one typically eats.
Yeah, see? Knife and fork for his ex.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors
Is Peko
touched.
Peko's ex
By
special?
pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have
Nobody
no...
cares.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Aww, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
It's part of the wallpaper. I should be able to figure out what it is. Is it wallpaper? Yeah, well, there's P. I'm seeing all the letters that would be in paper. Just need a W. Alright, so then we need an another L. Need a P. A. What do we need? We need an E. Oh shoot. Oh god. Oh no, we need an A. A. Burr. We need an E now. Okay, now we need an R. Wallpaper.
I got it! That's scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so,
You're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearance?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Is it connected to the 7 points? Trace it back from there. Answer should be here. Is it a logic deep dive? Yeah. What? Do I have to speed up? In order to be able to do that? Apparently I do. I didn't realize that. Okay, what did Hyoko's body? Because it was hidden. What did the killer use to hide her body? Wallpaper. How did the killer hide her body? They covered the pillar. That would make sense. Then all they would have to do is move the wallpaper.
it's all coming together. I got it. Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar. I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper, and because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, don't put my leg.
You're pretty noisy.
I don't eat moss balls. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Okay, so here's why I think it was the nurse. Because Ibuki and Hyoko were killed in there. And then what they did, and then whoever was at the hospital at that time would have, since they got 2 bags, because Monokuma mentioned buy one, get one free, they would have had 2 bags, so they put one on Ibuki's head, one on their own, and they brought the step, and they had their own step ladder, they stepped up and replayed it in the hospital, and then all they would have had to do is put the set pieces for the communication and the step ladder back after, as well as tear down the wallpaper, which doesn't seem that much of a stretch. If they walk in, they just set the 2 things down, tear down the wallpaper, stash it in the storage room, and then come back.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
And who's to say the nurse went to the call room? What if she went to the conference room?
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
The reason the killing emanated. Should be able to explain that now. To mix up the killing order.
See.
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
And if she did get the despair disease, then she'd be the opposite of nurturing. She'd want to harm people, such
A
as
valid
murder.
line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hyoko was killed. That would mean Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status. This stuff, the smudge, blood on the soles. Yeah, blood on the soles.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that. Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you realized our differences. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
Alright, what have I got? Rope used for hanging. Stick ladder. Jesus, there's so much. Smudge on the floor,
You're
maybe?
saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Wait,
You
smudge.
can't step on blood that was never there. Just about to see a nice nightmare.
As long as Ibuki's body has no open wounds, there's no doubt that that blood is Hyoko's.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes, but it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
The word from earlier was the opening.
Hiyoko was taped to the pillar, yes. But it's possible that the pillar still had blood on it. However, you cannot step on the pillar with your feet. You should feel proud of yourself. It's been nearly 3 years since I've had to use 60% of my power.
Retreat.
Damn it!
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet
No,
belonged
wrong
to
button.
Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
I knew it.
Allow
I
me to
saw it,
cut
but I was
through
like,
those words.
it's advanced.
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
Aside from Nikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikan's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
He could, but that
Now
would be
then,
as fun.
let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
Ugh.
Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito? What do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Then that means there was only one murder.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
That's totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive. When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, then just what was that video Hajime saw? According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually right?
What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
What? Okay, so the murder's supposed to happen before and during the murder. The person doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Can I review the
Right, but
Can I review them? Yeah. So what do I got? What's Iken's account? Right up until the morning announcement, Mikana was with Hajime the whole time. Afterwards, she went to the hospital to realize she rushed out of the hospital. She apparently... Okay, we've got everyone's account. Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with an alibi.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong! Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikon and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikon and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime.
Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was? Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
Different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? It's a trap set by one of us. So then, whose and what kind of trap is it?
Hiya!
Moss balls sure look nice and ways, but don't characterize me as someone who lives off moss balls. And here's some chains time. What's that? Now then, Mono needs appeal time starts now. Kinda the big brother's gonna give you a chance to relax. Let's start to treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 credits or so. It'll just be a point appeal. Come on, if your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be
What a disappointment!
I'm Monami. Seriously, feels like we were supposed to have a... No! Zip everyone.
There's a killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence. Does something like that exist?
It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too.
Oh, God.
If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation,
The lion was actually pinned by arrows, right? But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape. Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying Hiyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Yoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions? It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
That's the key to all this. We need to find that out, no matter the cost. Well, then I need Sonia's account, right? Guess it's not there.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, she didn't get abducted.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Yes.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that...
I won't lose. Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
No! That's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough!
Alright, what do we got? Battle Showdown. Step ladder, candles, smudge on the floor, Keen's account. Sonia's account.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Won't let me swing anymore.
Back down.
What?
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She
It wouldn't let me
the killer forced their
press
way into
down
Hiyoko's
anymore.
room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking.
What? It won't let me swing anymore.
And that's
Oh,
why the
that's
killer
right.
targeted her. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The
Oh
girl
yeah, I
is so
forgot. We have a
small and
limited
weak-looking.
amount of cuts.
And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
No.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's her kimono was all messed up.
Wait, no, it was. Ugh. This should be my back to bed.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer! That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all!
In the hole. There's clearly a contradiction.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono
Smudge
was
on the
all
floor.
messed up. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
No?
Crap! Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her
Fuyuhiko's
kimono was
account.
all messed up.
What is... Hold on. What is Fuyuhiko's account? I don't remember that. Fuyuhiko manipulated... Okay, they were separated.
There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer! That's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all!
What? What's the friggin' contradiction?
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
I can't back down!
What? I was explaining. Is it the other one? Ugh.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or the killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
What? I'm literally spamming. Yeah.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
What was McCann's account?
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
I can't back down!
I'm literally clicking as hard as I can.
She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room.
And I wasted some cuts because this is starting to piss me
The girl
off.
was so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
And I'm out of cuts. God damn it.
I can't back down!
I'm literally spamming it as fast as it. Hold on. I'm gonna review. / overturn right mouse button.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her.
Oh, you got a right mouse
Girl
click
is so
to
small and
/.
weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
So is it really the right click? No?
Hiyoko was locked inside her room. She definitely got abducted or the killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
Okay, so McCann's account maybe?
There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Oh no, wait, Sonia's account.
That's the proof she was abducted.
Sonia's account. Oh my god, I'm
God,
stupid.
it's totally right after all. Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's
Oh,
body.
I'm
Her
stupid.
kimono was all
Guys, I'm
messed
sorry.
up.
Took me.
There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
There we go.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Oh, I hate these.
The reason Hyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Hajime, now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have
there's
predicted
Peko
when
Peko.
she would arrive.
No, her ex looks the same as everyone else's, so Teru's is special.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake.
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head. And without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, you don't know the most important part.
Hey Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
Yeah.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in... So that's why I think there's no way she faked her...
You know, we already finished.
Huh? Really? That's annoying. I guess I...
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no...
No, wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place.
Strange.
This is strange.
Don't think we've finished talking about it. Those footprints, there's still an important clue left that we completely overlooked. Just Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the stepladder?
I can prove it with this. If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
The stepladder was falsified.
There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
You noticed such a small detail. How amazing. This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate.
What are you talking about? What obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Kamada, you're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
Didn't you say you saw that video of Ibuki climbing the stepladder? Then, Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there...
But that's something only Hajime would know.
Just I thought it comes down to that. Mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video, and whether or not we can reach that hidden truth is all up to me.
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, there's some hidden clue in that video. I should have seen something strange that I watched. I'm the only one who can clear that up. The only one who actually saw it. So I'm the only one who can do it. The video that I saw, based on everything we know from the debates thus far, I should be able to figure out what's strange.
Damn it! Damn it!
What?
Here!
Okay.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts the video I saw
Oh,
at
so
the
the
hospital.
stepladder was in the hospital. And they would have used the stepladder that's in the hospital, not the one that they moved there. So they wouldn't have had to move that at all.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. But the stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue. What do you mean?
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you
Jesus,
incredible
Nagito,
deduction
you need to
skills.
know what
Is
to
it
say and what not to.
What are you two talking about?
It's different, huh? Like you said, the stepladder was at a different place, but that's the case thing that's actually different between the video and the same thing. Is that thing the place where the killer did something? Conference room? Hospital conference room? Hospita. Or the meeting? meeting. No, not meeting. Okay. Is it G? No, it's not M or G. Or would it be F? No. F. F-I? What? Fig? What? What's the difference between the video I saw and the actual crime scene? Phil? I got no idea. Film? Filming location. Filming location. Filming location. Ah. It just took me a second. Lives on a pineapple. I just need to see. Not A yet. at C. C. Now an A. Okay. Oh, well, I guess. Okay. I. O N. N. There we go. Filming location.
I got it! That's right. Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor's supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
What did the killer do to that surveillance camera unit? Question 1. Which part of the camera? Oh! But I wasn't paying attention. What's the one to speed it up? Don't actually remember. I'll look at it in a second. Yeah, so we're going a little fast there. Oh, I got close to the edge I'm getting. Okay, question 2. The killer tampered with the camera at the music venue or the hospital? With the camera at the music venue, right? What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. So I was right to want to slow down on these. Oh yeah, you just hold forward to go faster. What did the killer do with the camera from the music venue? They took it with them, right? Because if they were at the hospital, did I completely call it? Wait, did I? Oh my god, did I get it correct? Is this my first true tinfoil victory?
The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
Well, that's true, but in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing.
They broke it.
I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to the motel.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Mine would be pretty handy. In this case, where's the video filmed? In the hospital. Conference room? Now is it conference room? If so, then I need to see. HOSPITAL. Yeah, conference room. See, now I need no. You're not gonna give me, are you? Oh no, hold on. Thank you. N. N. F. Oh, this is an F. I thought that was an E. F, E. Now we need an E. Okay, well, if we know that this is an F, and this is an another E. N. C. Conference room. Aha. I feel so proud of myself.
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? Conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make...
What that look was. Room key. The music venue curtain.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Is it that? No. Where did they make it?
Damn it!
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
No.
Damn it!
There's no way the conference and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
Okay, so the music venue looked like the conference room.
There's no way the conference and the music venue.
Which place resembled? Did the conference room look like the... Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
There we go.
Must be it.
What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain.
From what I remember, it somehow became a plain black.
That's right!
Oh, yeah?
That curtain was hung so the music.
In actuality, it is a black light block.
I see. The same color. So the killer chose the...
Matching floors, matching curtains.
But that's not all.
It's gotta be that. Candle?
I can prove it with this.
Yeah, it was the candle.
You're referring to the candle in the music video. In the video I saw, a candle was used. The music venue has good lighting.
But would it...
That might have been another reason, but... The lighting in the conference room... That's why the killer used a candle as film...
Which means
That candle was likely placed there just to make...
With candlelight, you can't with that cheap-ass camera.
As long
Which
as this all
means
matches up.
whoever
Should be
was in the
video
hospital
I
had to do
saw
it.
wasn't filmed at the music.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was... But it appears the killer already covered...
But there's no mistake.
The motel would have been too far.
But this must be a... You never suspected...
The incident isn't happening.
If Ibuki's hanging video was... Then was Ibuki...
no. Right after Hajime saw that,
Which means there's a fake somewhere. That fake must have been the Ibuki in the
I
conference.
see! The person wearing the hint bag... It was. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their...
By that time...
The actual time of death...
if they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to...
But why did the killer go to the trouble of...
The reason the killer... There's only one possibility I can think of. Then naturally, the killer's...
You fiend! Are you...
Yes. Should already know who the killer is. Select someone.
You're the only one!
Yes! Tinfoil lettering for the win!
What are you talking about?
Like I said,
Tinfoil hat.
aren't you the killer who murdered
Tinfoil
Ibuki and he...
Tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat.
Hey,
Tinfoil hat.
a chick like
Tinfoil
her is the
hat.
killer?
Tinfoil hat. Tinfoil hat.
A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the question.
But we're the only one. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi?
Now that you mention it... You guys brought...
It's just a coincidence.
But you're the only one who could have filmed that. Is that... At that time, you said you were... That's when you put on a hospital gown that you... By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the... And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside...
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital...
Not only that, the others in the hospital...
So that...
Please, wait a second. That's impossible.
It's not literally impossible. Just shows you...
Hey,
Wrong.
Just like Akane said,
I agree. It is...
that slow wit...
In a tournament for social... How many times do I...
What do you still...
Hey.
So, is she really capable? Could it be I'm the one making a mistake? No, in fact, it'd be so much easier if I have this much doubt about someone who's missing a
Can you hold on? Well, I know I missed all of the critical...
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killer this time.
Oh?
I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows. Are you serious? I've been so focused on everybody else this trial. But I guess now's a good time to say it, right?
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game, you know.
Actually, this is a game.
Please don't say such Well, what do you know, Nagito?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points to the killer.
Dang! That's a huge deal!
A decisive clue? Does something like that really exist?
Let's take a look. Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from, this rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside the music venue.
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hotspot for criminal goods.
If they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with...
I want you to take a close near the middle of the rope. But why is it like this? The loop Ibuki used to hang herself is on one end of it, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long.
It means the killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck. The center of the rope is frayed because...
Hold on. I've been listening. What exactly did you say?
This rope won't be much of a clue, then I might as well search for more clues.
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Just like this case is killed.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope?
And then... Huh? You did... Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
We have her
Did we fall
autopsy?
for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
So, Ibuki's true cause of death, in fact, is that true?
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same
You
thing.
can only memorize to
Though hanging
disagree,
and
right?
strangling
So,
seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn?
We believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
yeah.
That must be it. So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
Yeah, she had no other experience, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Mikan?
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikan, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify injuries like that. That's why it's not my fault if I made a mistake.
You were right. And you have been a great help to us so far.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a clumsy mess, and I got so careless.
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikan because she was nursing her.
So Mikan volunteered to nurse us? Cause she was planning to do this all along?
That's a little Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of being thieves?
I'm not a criminal. Mikon is.
You've got it all wrong.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if Mikon is the killer.
Well, if that's the choice everyone... But is that really...
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep...
There's no way! I'm capable of killing someone!
Is that really true?
Stop it already! That's enough!
I can't stop. I don't want to do this either. Of course I don't want to do this. But I need to do this.
You doubt your friends?
That's not it. I suspect them because I want to believe them.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no...
Don't say deep stuff.
If you want to believe in someone, belief without doubt...
Fine.
Huh? Is that all you can say? Ah, so in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh? Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault. Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me? I'm done.
Hey, Mikon.
It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Not fair.
Your boy got it right.
You forgive me if you did something wrong. You'd forgive yourself right away. What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Wow, this is annoying. Plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it? That's the issue.
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some? I'm the same as Hajime. I don't want to doubt any of my friends, but still, that's why we gotta stick with this until the very end, so we can finally break these chains of despair. Hey, Mikon, can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched?
Like I said, it obviously wasn't me.
Can you prove it?
Prove it? Wait. Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? That's right! Show me your proof! Because you're just assuming the video was filmed at the conference room. Treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because I was at the hospital. That's totally crazy! I didn't do anything wrong! Why does everybody always hate me? Please, just forgive me already!
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer! The video... I never filmed that video!
It seems she finally started arguing for us. But the only one who can find the hole in her argument is you, Hajime. So,
Could be was this Chiaki's goal all along? She's saying everyone's fate depends on me. The only person
Why
who's
do
something-
you get to decide I'm the killer? Where's your proof? Please, forgive me already!
I need to make up my mind. I'm the one who has to do it. The one who's going to finish this. What is this? It's a non-stop debate. Blood on the souls will be used for hanging free Hikos. Where's McCann's account live again? Change the hospital check.
We can't think of anybody else other than you. who could have filmed that video.
I don't know.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Yes.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
It was the hemp bag.
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
The hemp bag? Don't hesitate. When I saw that video, what else?
I'm not the killer!
Yeah, I think this is a memorized one.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
What? I don't think what is the evidence that McCann was the one who filmed
Damn
the
it!
video? What?
I'm not the killer!
Or is it?
We can't think of
Oh,
anybody
the
who
killer's
could have
mistake,
filmed-
the hemp bag.
Do you have... Is the hemp bag
Is it
on
the
her-
other way
is the
around?
hospital gown- Or could it be the hospital...
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really... You could tell her body just from that... Just from that dim...
There's no way you'd be... So please forgive me!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Is it the other way around?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
No? What? Didn't you say there was a person wearing a hospital gown? Okay, I haven't made a mistake at all.
Damn it!
What?
I'm
What?
not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other
What?
than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
What?
Is that really
No,
your
I'm
proof?
confused as hell.
You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
What?
Hajime, pay close attention
I'm
and listen well.
confuzzled.
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
No, what? What's her mistake? Calm down and think carefully. What is the evidence that McCann was
Damn
wrong?
it!
I don't know. The hemp bag, but the hemp bag isn't doing anything.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
No! Ugh. What is it? My brain's not working.
Damn it!
Because I saw that the hemp bag is hers, but if that's not the thing, then what is it?
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that video?
Okay, you know what? I had an idea. I'm gonna pause the episode. I'm gonna pause the episode here until I can figure out what it is, because it's probably gonna take me forever. Found it a good 5 seconds later. I'm back. It was Killer's mistake. It was the camera angle,
Mikon,
and I failed.
You've
So
committed a major
the
mistake.
influence bar is filled up again.
Mistake?
as I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
The only reason Mikon knew the camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video. Is that right?
This is your just reward. The more desperately you argue, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. You lied, didn't you?
Are you serious? Is it true, Mikon? Did you kill Hiyoko and Ibuki?
Forgive me! Huh? I was wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible.
What?
You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag instead. Ding! I totally remember now.
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting weirder by the minute.
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that video?
Who cares about that? More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that
But
was
there were
sold at the
two-
movie theater?
There were 2 copies of it.
Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remember the Usami decal on it, right? Whoopsie!
I
Don't worry about it. I remember even if you don't.
That's the thing. I jump ahead of
There's
myself,
no
and I'm like,
mistake
is
that
this
that
the
tote
evidence I'm
bag
looking
is a
for?
limited item. So don't you think using one tote bag in both the copies it's blatantly obvious that that's impossible? Don't you think? That's why that video isn't fabricated, and I'm not the killer. So you'll forgive me, right?
Taking your stubbornness this far.
Then you're gonna forgive me? I won't stop until you forgive me!
Time no see. Well, no, really. It's time for the 3rd panic talk action. This is probably going to be my last job. Please humor me. Starting from this, the reload and ammo features. Oh, hallelujah. Below the temper marker, bullets are displayed from this point on. You need 1 bullet to destroy 1 mark. When you're out of bullets, you won't be able to destroy the marks. How much you mash. You won't be able to refresh your bullets. Just like locking on, press the tab key in time. Control is the same as the left mouse button. There's the temper marker area. Based on how well you get the timing wrong when you press the tab key, bullets will not be refreshed. So your ammo will be completely refreshed and will not run out during fever time. The difficulty level is set to not to reach reload. I guess if you use this in one, should be able to mission. Should be able to find it. It's fair.
I'll keep explaining it until you forgive me! That bag is a limited item! That's why that crime is impossible for anyone to pull off.
This chick, has she lost it for good?
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me, right? Isn't that right? You're obviously gonna forgive me, right?
Gotta do something and end this. Gotta do something so I can make her admit it.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? There's only one bag. It's impossible to
Bonus
use it in two places
prize
at the same
deal.
time.
No, is that not it?
Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me!
How am I missing?
Please,
Ugh.
draw on me. There's
Okay.
only one bag. It's
Theater
impossible to
bonus
use it in two
prize.
places at the
This is the end. Monokuma mentioned this earlier.
You buy one bag, you get another one free.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize, which means it's not impossible to use that bag in two separate places. So please, just stop making desperate excuses.
Why? Why can't you forgive me? Why?
It seems her desperate struggle is finally coming to an end.
Why does everybody always hate me? You should just forgive me already!
Nikon, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning and show that you have no arguments left, please just admit it already. In the end, at least let me believe in you.
Begin. Alright. Alright, here we go. What I saw on the monitor. Video of the broadcasted angle. What did the killer do after the broadcast? Write down the music, please. The body was hidden before. It's more blue. Back to normal after destroying it. Nope. That was already done. Oh wait, this goes there, huh? Last stock. Oh, there's only two? What can we do after the broadcast? Put it back to normal after destroying it. What's left? What's the real option created? Blue.
Here's everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Mikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music venue. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music venue, so I immediately headed over there. But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time, when in fact, the crime had already been committed by that point. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake.
I'm still so glad that I called it.
I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside, and as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that pillar. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have Hyoko's body hidden inside. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the crime scene. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video, but when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue. The killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko and me. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. And they made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hyoko's suddenly present body as well. At the time, they pretended to be surprised, but inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing, like the sky is falling down upon you. This feeling of despair.
Mikan, you... What has happened to you?
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your time.
Oh? Nice.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our regularly scheduled voting time. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Let's go!
Oh man, I kind of missed though. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well now,
Oh, it may be obvious at this point. You got it right once again. That's like 3 in a row. That's right, the true identity of the horrifying blackened who killed 2 girls was Mikan Tsukiki.
Damn it.
You gotta be shitting me. You saying Mikan, the one who nursed us back to health, was the one who killed us?
I won't forgive you.
Mikan, did you lie to us all along? Were you planning to kill him from the start while you were nursing him? Hey, don't just laugh. Say something. This is going nowhere.
What's going on?
This chick.
Hey.
There's nothing like Becco. She's actually gone mental.
That's
There's
obvious.
nothing we can do. She's no longer the same person. She's no longer the Mikan Tsukiki we knew. Huh?
Hey.
Based on my prediction, she might have caught it too. She probably had the despair disease, which was the motive for this case. Mikan. 2, you say? I know, because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me. After all, my consciousness kept drifting, but even so, when I did catch a glimpse of her, her expression was full of despair. Despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. Hold on, did you say Mikan also had the despair disease? Then that means she was... Huh? Hajime has something crushed in me. that's right. Makan felt really hot at that time. Now that I think about it, that must have been high fever, just like what Ibuki and Akan had.
It cannot
I
be.
called it. And because of that disease,
Perhaps.
Makan was... The symptoms that she surely felt must have been deserving of the name despair disease. Losing all hope and harboring despair for all hope because of the despair disease, she was likely overcome with
See?
despair. That's the reason why she can still laugh in such a hopeless situation.
Jeez.
Which means the Makan standing before us is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person now that she's infected by the despair
Isn't that
disease.
right?
She's a human who deserves to be called the ultimate despair. That's the reason why I cannot forget this. I mean, killing someone for the sake of despair instead of for the sake of hope.
Possible.
There's no way I can forgive
Oh?
that. For the sake of despair? That's completely wrong. Wrong? What's
What
wrong?
I did.
What I did?
Was for the sake of my beloved.
What?
Huh?
Who are you talking about? If only they were still alive, they'd be so happy. I know.
My beloved was the only one. That's right. The only one who never hated me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in
Junko?
full. This is my reciprocation.
I understand that I've done something unforgivable, but you know, to transcend all that is truly
Love.
what love is all about.
Hey,
I don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand? Is it because you don't have anyone to love? Is it because you're also someone who isn't exactly anyone? What a pity. I feel sorry for you.
Well,
And if I say this, I'm sure nobody here will understand, but love is so wonderful thing. This feeling of freedom when you no longer care about anything. My beloved and I are the only ones within that thin veil, and I'm just looking out for you. That's why as long as I'm on the inside, no matter how much they tease me, splash me with water, kick me, it's like
How
nothing matters. I could just
amazing.
die. That's how little it matters. Who cares about hope or despair? It's love. Only love.
me?
Nagito, is this really the despair disease you were talking about?
This is...
It seems that I was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair, you're half right. It's right to say this is all thanks to disease. Because thanks to that disease, I was able to remember my beloved. Apparently, that's what my symptom was. What a wonderful symptom. Which means you had remembering disease. This means you remembered something and ended up like this. You say you were like this from the start? Were you like this before you even came to this? Don't get so angry. Well, first of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because it's not like I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm the person I am today because of many human relationships. So it's everybody's fault that I turned out like this. Even so, the current me was most strongly influenced by my beloved's existence. It was also my beloved who created the me that everyone can't forgive, but my beloved still forgives me and still accepts me. That is the key difference between all of you and my beloved.
don't fuck with
Like
me!
I said, who the fuck are you talking about? I don't like where this is going. You're saying this is Makan? She's the real Makan? Makan, please answer me. Do you really remember you ended up like this because you remembered? There's no way I can believe that. There's no way the person you are right now is the real Makan. Oh, you still tell me? Then to prove I remember, I'll tell you all something nice. It's about that World Ender organization that you all were worrying about.
Are you serious?
You know? No, I just remembered. That's all I knew about it all along. How that orphaning organization known as World Ender is also the organization known as the Future Foundation. Future Foundation? That's right, that symbol on the ancient runes door. That's right. It was the Japanese word for future.
Hey,
Just what is the Future Foundation? What are they planning? As the name suggests, that organization is the World Ender. The Future Foundation is trying to end our world, but simply they're trying to claim the world for
this
themselves.
is bad.
What the heck? This isn't a comic book, you know? As part of their plan to end the world, the Future Foundation brought us to the Simon. Isn't that right, Manu? I knew it. Nomi and Malakuma, they're both members of that crazy organization, aren't they? I aren't members.
Monokuma!
My existence is entirely my own.
Hey,
Don't laugh. Hey, my God, if you really do remember, then you already know, right? You know the true identity of the traitor. Anyone else? Listen to that. It's a Future Foundation might be deciding on this. Oh, well, no one really cares about that, don't you think?
of course not!
Oh, hell no. You'll find out eventually, so there's no need to be impatient, probably, when that countdown ends. Countdown? You even know about that? I don't know anything. I have a feeling that's what it is, but who cares about that? I'm drowning in so much love from the bottom of my heart, I just don't care about
That
anything
is-
or anything. Because is this really you? I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe you. You were like this all along because if that's true, then who's the person we've been spending time with up until now? The past. Past? That person. She didn't exist in the beginning. She's just my past self who lost her memories. You guys considered that thing a friend.
Oh?
That doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with despair. You guys accepted my past self, but not my present self.
Well,
that applies to you all as well. Memories of people, memories of events, whatever memory it is. Losing
do you
memories are
understand?
like losing your personal identity. Memory is the most important component in building a person, don't you think? Losing our memories makes us shadows of the past, don't you think?
Hey,
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story about a stolen school life.
Hey!
So it was true. All our memories were taken
damn
away.
it!
If it wasn't true, we wouldn't be suffering this much. Why don't you just take your sweet time and remember at your own pace? Oh, Monokuma. Is it alright for you to say that?
Yes, indeed.
Punishment time? Damn it. Mikan, why does it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too
Now
much.
then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate nurse, Mikan
so
Suki.
it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always forgives me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Oh boy. What's he got cooked up now? Wait, that doesn't mean it's finished. Is it really finished? The killer who killed Ibuki and Hyoko was Mikan, and she's been executed. She apparently committed a crime because she was afflicted by the despair disease. So what? What's finished? Nobody wanted it to end this way.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Was that a true form, or is that itself a symptom of the despair disease? It doesn't matter either way. If she ended up like that from just remembering that all along Mikan was never worthy of being a symbol of hope. Even if her words were influenced by the despair disease, if the disease turned her into that, if she lost herself to a simple disease, she was definitely unworthy of being a
Isn't
symbol
that
of hope.
right?
So let's just move on. Come on, let's take all this despair and change it into hope.
Wait.
That is impossible. I mean, I thought we were friends this whole time, but even so... A house of cards collapsing in an instant. In the end, our friend we thought we knew ended up showing us a completely different side of herself, and she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her malice toward us. And now there's no way we can just move on and try to have a clear-cut attitude about these feelings. That's clearly impossible.
Damn it!
It would have been so much easier if she was the traitor,
Wrong.
too. Too bad, that's not the case.
Come on.
The traitor is still alive, as proof. See how fine Monoi looks right now? But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? I mean, you're both pawns of the future foundation, so you guys are like two hearts beating as one, right?
Fiend.
What does that make you feel? You did say you're different than one another. Who cares about what I am? More important, I'm tired. The drama just kept going and going. I didn't even have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break. Your right eye is made out of black beans.
Hey.
Hey, now's not the time to focus on that. What are you trying to say?
Hey,
You know, isn't it sad that life has its ups and downs? It's fun because downs come after ups, but if life is full of downs, wouldn't it get boring? So, in order to help you guys feel better, I've prepared a special event. Head over to the First Islands Beach. An old friend will be waiting there. Could be Nekomaru.
Hey.
It is, isn't it? Nekomaru was safe after all. Safe? How should I say this? I knew it. I knew that crazy bastard Nekomaru would come back to us in one piece. Awesome. We're starting to see the light of hope. The light of hope. I'm happy Nekomaru is returning to us, but
So just as I
three of our
thought.
friends just died, so honestly, kind of big. It was Sonia.
However,
However, even so, I am still happy. If Nekomaru is safe, I am totally happy. If you are happy, you should honestly greet them with open arms. Perhaps those who have been taken from us would do the same if they still lived. A supreme overlord of who gives a shit. That line doesn't suit you at all. Silence. I shall crush you to dust. Buki, Yoko, McCann, can you hear us? If you are unhappy, I apologize. However, please don't leave right now. I want to warmly welcome Nekomaru when he returns to us. You don't have to worry, Sonia. I'm sure your feelings are
Right?
Then let's all go greet Nekomaru. Let's make it grand, even for those who have died. What the heck? Do I still have the after effects of the disease? I don't get this at all.
Alright!
Alrighty then, let's go. Yeah, you're right. Nekomaru's coming back. When we heard that, we were unable to contain our excitement as we jumped into the elevator.
Uh-oh.
Man, they just ran off without listening to what I had to say. Jeez, they're so patient. Didn't they learn to stick around until others have finished talking? You're plotting something again, aren't
No
you?
way!
I'm not plotting anything. I was just trying to properly explain everything, including Nekomaru's body. It's their fault for not sticking around. So if something happens because of that, I bear no responsibility.
What's this?
I just saved him, that's all. I mean, if I didn't do that, there's no way I could have saved someone who was like this. Yeah, so it just couldn't be it. Hurry to the beach on the first island. It's all ass. No, our minds were completely exhausted. Strangely, our bodies felt light. Without stopping for anything, we kept right on running toward the beach on the first island. Where in the world is Nekomaru?
Hey!
Hey, Nekomaru, we have come to pick you up. Please hurry and come out the fighting. We used our voices to look around the area. We used our voices again to look around the area again. So on and so forth. We kept looking for him, but
Hey!
what the hell, man? He's nowhere to be
Damn
found.
it!
Did we get false information from one of them? And that's when I gave a familiar voice echo throughout the beach.
What happened? Were y'all looking for me?
Could it be?
That voice. With high hopes in our hearts, we turned toward the direction of the voice, and then we saw something truly unbelievable.
Huh? What the?
Oh, I've kept you waiting. Hey, what's going on? Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen each other in a while. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much.
He's a robot. He's a cyborg.
Who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it to you.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed it yourself?
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? This is nothing. The name's Nekomaru Nidai. I've been reborn in the rivers of hell.
He is a robot. Days left. To be continued. Alright, we're gonna call this episode here. This has been Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.